oh, you're awake, here's something to worry about at 3 a.m. So if you're missing your loved one to begin with, it can be even harder to fall back asleep because they were probably the person that you would want to help navigate through this moment. And that's the person that died. And so when you're also grieving, nothing feels normal and your sleep may be affected by this deep struggle and sadness that you've got. And couple that with the fact that humans sleep in cycles anyway, it can leave you feeling anxious about your lack of sleep that you're getting or that you can't fall asleep for a while. See, waking up in the middle of the night, while mostly normal when you're not grieving, it can make you anxious when it happens over and over again. In fact, you might be watching this video at that time of the morning right now. And if you are, you may want to watch the rest of this video to learn how to quiet the mind and to fall asleep fast. And so here's what's worked for me, and that still works for me to this day when I still have those nights when I wake up at 3 a.m. So first, when you wake up and you can't fall back asleep, it's most likely because you're thinking about your loved one or something that is stressing you out. And so no matter what it is that wakes you up, I invite you to keep a notebook and a pen close by your bed. And so that when you wake up, you sit up, you grab your notebook, you grab your pen or pencil, and you write down those things that are stressing you out. Why? Because your brain is tired and it's trying to process those thoughts. And so by writing them down, you're telling your brain that you will deal with them in the morning and that you don't need to keep remembering it over and over again as you're waking up. And I do this all the time. And then in the morning, I look at that list of the things that I wrote down and I kind of prioritize when and how I'm going to deal with it. And if anything that you wrote down seems really negative or it's filled with self-blame, the first thing that you do that next morning is you call your therapist, your coach, your counselor, and you set up a time to meet with them face-to-face, because there are some really powerful ways to process those difficult emotions, and you don't have to do it alone. But usually, simply writing down your stressors and your thoughts can help your brain to settle down again. And another powerful tool is your breath. This is the tool that my therapist shared with me when I told her that I was struggling with my sleep. And the goal here is to keep you present and allow your brain to kind of realize that it's okay to rest. And it goes like this. When you're laying in your bed, I'd like you to take a few deep breaths and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, as you inhale, in your mind, hear yourself say the number 1. And as you exhale, hear yourself say the number 1. And then you inhale, in your mind, hear yourself say 2. And as you exhale, in your mind, hear yourself say 2. And so on until you can get to 10, if you can. Now, I say if you can because most of the time, your mind will try to reintroduce those thoughts into this present space. And if that happens and you lose your count, you got to start over again from 1. And I can tell you that I've only made it to 10 a couple of times because I usually either fall back to sleep or I have to start over again. And by the time my mind is quieted, I have relaxed enough and with my breathing and that counting that I fall back asleep. Now, another way to help with your sleep is to avoid alcohol or other stimulants because your body will work overtime to process those, and it can actually not only keep you awake, it could be something that your body relies on to fall asleep in the first place. And if you're struggling with any of that, please reach out to your counselor or therapist. They can help guide you towards programs that can help. So Shannon, sleep is something that is absolutely affected by your grief, and couple that with the natural sleep cycles that we go through, it can take us a few weeks to not only get to sleep, but stay asleep and continue to process our grief. And eventually everything will kind of get back in sync. And so please know, though, that your sleep pattern or circadian rhythm will eventually sync back up. And if you're not really sure what a circadian rhythm is, it's these processes that help you to regulate sleep and alertness, your appetite, your body temperature, all of that. And your body is usually in a flow with that. And if you're having a really hard time with this, despite these things that I've suggested, reach out to your doctor.